So I'll show you a darker tree, shall I? Would that be helpful? So even though we've got a dark tree, we still want to emphasize the light that would be going on our tree. What we'll do is I will just show you the golden tree. So in my mind, I've got my light source coming from this direction. Okay, so I'll do it again for this one. And I'll show you, look, even by rolling around, as long as you get some tapping, you can get some big shapes, okay? But what I need to do is to start splaying around, because at the moment that's not very true. That's not a good, it's not a good canopy shape, okay? So if I roll her up, okay, now I've got a better canopy shape. Now I'm going to pick up some stronger colour, which is burnt sienna, nice conker colour. And I'm tapping it on its side just to try and encourage broken texture. And when I get to the edges where I want to suggest the tree is got all these broken twigs and shapes the silhouette of this tree, I'm tapping with the side of my brush because I want to try and get a more of a broken effect coming through. There we go. So again, it's very much a sort of similar way of working, but you can see now I'm going to start to load more colour at the bottom. So let's have some more crimson tones in the bottom. So I'm now adding alizarin to my burnt sienna. Okay. You could tilt it as well. Okay, but I'll just do that there. And again, because we want this tree to look as though it's coming down, I need to suggest some things coming down because my tree's getting quite large now. Okay. Okay. So it's making more sense. I've got light colours at the top. Okay, I can do an odd spot coming through. I'm not going to do too much because I'm going to do some lifting. So what I'm going to do, let's do with my big brush. I'm going to just lift, and I'm holding my brush horizontal. So if you're finding your textures aren't what you want, okay, we can just start to lift out this tone so it's not quite so solid. So it's a very flat brush, it's damp, it's clean. I'm wiping it with my piece of kitchen paper, so I've got these nice broken effects. So I want to keep the texture broken in the tree that I've just drawn. I'm going to let it settle a little bit, and then we can build up some more colours in a little bit. So again, now we're at the bottom. Now we can make a decision as to where the trunk's going to be and whether we want to suggest any, just as with this one, where the branches are coming up through into this tree. So I'm just making it up, but it'd be really good. I mean, we've all got good cameras on our phone. It'll be, you know, really beneficial just for you to sort of have a look outside, see what there is. So because we've got this intensity, it's giving us a real good clue as to how we can start to build up some more on this tree. Just waiting for it to settle a little bit more. So now I've got these lovely strong colours, okay, and we can just do some tapping coming down. Main thing when you're trying to sort of paint your trees is to just try and keep the textures broken, and then you start to get these, suddenly you think, oh, I'm really starting to like all these, you know, mark makings that I'm doing down here. This is beginning to look quite successful. I've got some nice areas of dark, okay, so I can say, oh right, I want to pick out that bit there and suggest there's some real intensity in this center of this tree. But these really help you if you try and keep your lights and your darks, you know, light in some areas, dark in others, and then you're going to get a much more successful three-dimensional feel to the tree that you're doing. So we've got light at the top of this tree. So even though we still want to have some of these colours, because we want to keep the texture coming through, otherwise it's going to look straight, like a very strange tree. I'm already lifting the colour very slightly, okay? Or you do the occasional one, but you want to have it just very slightly lighter at the top, because this is where the light will be shining, the sun's shining. And now that's looking more balanced as a rough guide to a tree shape. Okay. In the centre here, this here at the moment is looking too light to me, because we need to make sure this is a really thick, heavy, bold tree. So I want to make sure that it's really dark in here. Look, now that I've just tapped it on, so again with the side of my brush, tapping sideways, because I want to reintroduce that intensity. And now I've reintroduced that intensity in that tree, we've now got some depth into it, some weight into it, okay? And you can just enjoy tapping away, or giving a lighter pressure, or even you could even turn your brush around if you want to have more of a broken edge, so you don't get too blobby or flicking. As I say, if you flick downwards, then you'll get some nicer edges. And now that that's settling again, I can just do the occasional tap. Okay, and then not too much at the top, because we want it to lift. You can even tap it with your finger if you wanted to. So by doing that, now we're getting a richer looking tree, and then we can pick up our dark brown for the bottom. So we would need a burnt umber or a sepia. So if you've only got burnt umber, if you add a navy blue to it and then mix it together, you're effectively getting sepia. Look, and then you can get a really beautiful dark trunk shape. Okay. Oh, we're beginning to go out of shot there. You can get really, yeah, so if you get like your French ultramarine and add it to your burnt umber, you get a much richer, darker brown, like a dark chocolate. Okay. And then what I'm doing as well is if you think, oh crikey, look, I've done a solid lump of a trunk of a tree and I need to get some highlight on it. If you quickly scrape with the side of your thumb, my nail just pulled out that pulled away the paint, and I've also made a nice coarse texture for a trunk by just scraping down with my fingernail and getting a nice mucky fingernail. Okay. And then obviously you could spend some time, okay, working out what you're doing. All right. So that's just a couple of quick suggestions on how you can have a go at tackling your trees. So, you know, because they're just so beautiful at the moment, they're just beginning to turn, as you say, and they're just absolutely glorious, aren't they?